Welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Nerd.
And welcome to episode 286. We're going to do a good old-fashioned hobby hangout, just bullshit, talk about some fun stuff. We've all gone through some pretty big changes in our life and our things, and so we figured it would be kind of cool just to hang out for a bit. We got a few subjects to talk about, but nothing really hardcore. You know, like our previous ones where we're all serious and, completely professional.
Right.
Right.
That totally describes us.
Yes, 100%. Nerd has actually had to move her room, so she's in a little bit more warmer place because, the cold weather. I am actually waiting for a ice storm to come through. It's not going to hit till after the podcast, but just kind of waiting on that. But let's go ahead and get down to the business. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We have so many awesome sponsors. We want to thank Turbo Dork, and just so you know, Turbo Dork is coming out with 60 new paints. Yeah, John.
60, huh? 60. Holy crap.
With some new formulas and stuff going on. I haven't got the full depths on it, but they didn't go to LVO this year, so we'll see them at Adepticon, and I'll talk to them a little bit more, but I'm sure we'll see something before then. But we got to make sure to check them out, especially like metallic and turbo shifting type paint. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting our channel and putting it out there for everybody. We want to thank Parabellum War Games for the fantastic game of Conquest, where you can use the code More Than Dice, all one word, and get a discount on your purchases. Just so you know, they will be at Adepticon doing some cool stuff, so they've got some pretty good things going on. We want to thank Midnight Heroes for the awesome chibi miniatures and game that they have created, which you'll see more stuff coming out from them pretty soon. They've got some stuff coming up. We want to thank our friends Creature Caster for all the cool miniatures that they put out there and all the cool games, and especially like Judgment. If you haven't checked out Judgment and you want to play a cool miniature game, that's one way to go for it. It's simple and easy, but quite awesome. And they got more stuff, and I know they had a small thing at LVO, but I know they're going to try to do much bigger at Adepticon. I know they're gearing up for Adepticon is one of their start thing. LVO was kind of small, and then of course Warfare Weekend they'll be doing a bunch of stuff there as usual. Did I miss anybody?
Don't think so.
I think I got everybody. I think I got all the games too. So, other than that, we want to say a big thank you to all of our friends and all of our family and everybody out there is being safe and checking out and make sure that they're checking in on each other. There's been some changes going on, not only with the podcast, but with, personal matters with the team. If anybody doesn't know, I did resign from Warfare Weekend president, and now I'm a freelance agent. No. Just some health issues I need to take care of, and it's more important than to do that than to do Warfare Weekend. And it had been a while, and I was gearing up and doing all that stuff, so they're all copacetic. It's still going to happen, still going to go. Nerd's still going to be there because she already promised she was going to be. One of my the person that's running the cosplay stuff just sent me all of her stuff, and I forwarded it on to the proper place. So that was going to go. And I know Nerd said she's going to dress up using, in a cosplay outfit and everything. So we'll just have to wait and see what she's going to bring. I'm sure it's going to be, Nerd Fae type thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
I know that we were talking about, I wanted to talk about food. So, my doctor, with all the diagnosis, they were like, you should start eating healthier. No shit. I'm old. I'm fat, blah, blah, blah. And so I started trying to find healthier stuff to eat. And so, I'm like, I don't mind some vegan stuff, but here's my biggest thing about vegan stuff. Some of it just tastes like ass. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be anything. It's just, I gotta have my food taste good. If it's bland
Yeah.
and boring, I'm not going to eat it. And so I put a call
Gotta
out.
have seasoning. You
Yes,
can make good vegan food that's seasoned well, that tastes good.
correct. And so I put a call out, on Facebook. Hey, if you have any good vegan stuff, let me know. And a few people reached out and gave me some, places to go and check out. And we typically do Hello Fresh as our food because it's only two of us, so it's easy. And it's actually we actually compared it to buying it from the store, and it's actually cheaper to buy Hello Fresh than it is to buy groceries from the store right now. And
Yep.
so I went through my Hello Fresh and started picking up new recipes that are more vegan, healthy. I've got a few things that I'm eating until it's gone, and then once it's gone, I'm done with it, type thing. And then I'll move on to other stuff that I'm going with, but it'll be interesting. I'll probably document a little bit of it and everything, because I gotta of course start exercising, doing all that crap, watching all my shit. So nothing bad. If
That's a
you're
crappy job.
do what?
Watching all your shit, that's a crappy job.
Yeah, it is a crappy job. At least, and I gotta document my shit too. So there's that.
I mean, real talk, I actually suggest guys actually take a look once in a while just to make sure nothing looks weird. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of signs in there you can tell.
Well, so there was one of the things I'm going to talk about on during the media section, and it's a documentary I watched where they took these twins. They took like 22 sets of twins and said, this twin is going to eat nothing but a vegan diet, and this twin's going to eat an omnivore diet. And they did a comparison, and I thought it was an interesting study because, genetically, DNA, all that stuff, that's the perfect test subjects to test that stuff up on. And it was a very interesting study of how they did it. And one of the things that I thought was interesting is they were like, one, you have to stick to the program because some people didn't stick to it, and two, it's not a perfect science, and everybody's body is different no matter what.
You do know that even vegetarian, herbivore animals do occasionally eat another motherfucking animal.
Yeah, it was. But
Okay.
there was. We'll get into it when we get to the media section because I mean, you know me, I'm a science guy, and I'm like, back it up with science. Don't back it up with whatever. But there was some pretty decent eye-opening stuff there, and it got me thinking about things, and so I was like, okay, we're gonna do that. But before we get way off track, do we have any shout-outs that we need to talk about?
I just double checked. I didn't see anything in the last couple of weeks.
I don't either. I mean, I'm sure there was something we missed, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. So not that big of a deal. So let's get to the important stuff. John, what you drinking tonight?
Well, I finished off a glass of that. Hold on, Heaven's Door double barrel whiskey, which is fine, but not great. But now I've got some Dr. McGillicuddy's root beer. Yes. So they had this at the place I normally get my Apple stuff, which is downstairs, by the way. But I figured I'd try a bottle of this. I have previously had like a little taster, but it was long enough ago. I remembered it was good, but I wanted to get the whole bottle.
Gotcha. Nerd?
I've got a liquid PB&J, which is cran raspberry juice with Screwball topped off with some spiced cranberry Sprite.
Huh. Okay. Never heard of that. I am doing the
It's
good old
normally
fashioned.
made with Concord grape, but
Do whatever you can.
yeah, I wanted raspberry.
But without it, it's not great.
I'm doing the good old drinking of the H2O. Yay. So one of the things I'm cutting down on is, doesn't mean, it's going back to that one study and thing, is I'm cutting back, but I'm not cutting out. I'm just being very cautious of what I drink. But right now I need some water because I drink a bunch of other stuff recently and I need some H2O in my system. So,
Yeah.
so guys, as always, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate y'all watching. We appreciate you listening, no matter if it's live or SoundCloud or anywhere that you do it. We appreciate it no matter what. As always, make sure you take care of each other. Look after each other. If you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. And if you can do something, do something. If you can't, find somebody that will, because we need to make sure we're doing that. Cheers.
Cheers.
like it. There's just enough tang that you remember that you're drinking alcohol,
Mm.
but still tastes very root beery.
Printer's finished. You want to see something cool?
Are you gonna give us a choice?
Pajamas.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm wearing pajama pants too. Let's be honest.
So am I. Just dumps it on the floor.
Ah. Riveting television and even more riveting audio.
Yep.
Gotta love a flexible magnetic bed. I couldn't hear anything or said. I'm just like, that's the best way to do it. Just pop it, bend it, and it all falls off. Type
Pop
thing.
it, bend it, pop it.
Bend
twist
it. All right, so let me go ahead and switch over to the paint cam. And I'm going to, hopefully it'll all work pretty decent. Knowing me, it won't, but we'll have to go from there. Hey, maybe it will.
Hey, hey, hey!
Hey, hey.
Check it out.
Let me put a minute down and then I can focus it. I'm going to be working on one of the new Brine Blood models, the Reef Troll.
Ooh. Ooh, I like the colors you got going so far.
It's got good blocked out colors, and just you start detailing it, do the eyes, the teeth.
The teeth, the
and
tongue, the tongue,
The tongue is blue.
tongue before teeth.
Yeah, the tongue is going to be the same color as the blue plates on his body.
That's odd, but okay. I'd
Well,
probably go like lighter or something, just something to make it look to fit in, but not look the same. But hey, it's your
Yeah.
model. Paint it how you want.
I pay it how I want.
I do what I want.
In my mind, I do what I want. Let's switch this around. Okay.
Ah.
Type thing. So, all right. Ooh. So, my room that I do hobbying in, there's a big window in front of my desk, and it's huge, huge window. Really, really cool. But it also makes it kind of cold in this room. So I have this little bitty space heater, to keep my tootsies and stuff warm, so I don't, freeze.
And
to
I've
death.
got multiple heaters. I've got this monitor over here, which generates heat quite a bit. This one's actually cool. And if I need more heat, I can just turn the light of the sun on myself.
Oh yeah, you're
Blind myself.
Ah.
Eyes are clogged, get the bell. This actually puts off a lot of heat. So, I have to take pictures in little chunks when I'm doing stuff with behind me, because, as you understand, light generally equals heat.
Yep.
So, but yes, that's always been my joke, and that's the problem during the summer is that
oh
you
god,
go get hot.
oh yeah, that was the
I will
one.
often turn this monitor off during the summer just because it's just too damn hot.
Too damn hot.
But it's still fully functional and a good size. Why am I going to replace it just because it's a handful of days out of the year it'll be an inconvenience, and then more days it'll be a bonus when it's a little chilly out and we don't heat set on great. I'm like, I got warmth coming from that.
Nice.
So
Reef Troll Legion. Reef.
Reef.
You added an ER.
R-E-E.
Silly.
We gotta fix my chair. So one of the things that happened, LVO happened, or it's finishing up right now, type thing, which is cool. One of the things that came out from LVO is that Games Workshop is taking over the ITC. No big shocker.
That was announced a while ago.
What's
Yeah,
the
well,
ITC?
the ITC
International team, the national
Championship?
tournament. Yeah, I forget honestly.
Okay.
It's their tournament thing.
Yeah, it's their tournament scene, tournament packet, tournament stuff, and they did a big Q&A recently, and I talked to a friend of mine that's a GW judge, a judge that does all this stuff, and he says they don't plan on doing anything, changing anything for now.
International tournament circuit is actually the official.
Oh, it's circuit, which is interesting because it was owned by Frontline Gaming, and GW is just taking it over, and it's going to be official GW now.
That's actually good
Yeah.
because a lot of people didn't do anything because everyone's like, "Oh, I want to play for the tournament." It's like, yeah, but we don't like their arbitrary bullshit rules. Because, they're doing what they think is right for tournaments, which may not be right for just playing games. And you know how the American gamer mindset is, must play tournament rules
Yes, all the time.
all the time. Someone got upset because there's and this is important maybe for you in some future Gonzo, there's a site where you can go and get every Battletech record sheet.
Really?
They'll work on your phone. You can mark them in there. You can print them out from there. It's great. But they're not, technically speaking, tournament legal because it's not the official battle or the official record sheet from Chaos Games Labs. Now, I did some spot checking, as I'm wont to do, and they all seemed the same, but you could do some shenanigans if things were set up wrong. But, it's just one of those weird things, I mean, a guy, we're having a conversation like, hey, it's not legal. I'm like, why would it be? They don't control it. Someone could do some shenanigans.
Yeah.
And yes, they are the most minor of shenanigans and probably wouldn't actually happen, but you make rules for what could happen. That's why OSHA exists, because someone did that shit once.
Yep.
That scares me.
Sometimes more than once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like, people like to find subtle ways to cheat. It's not like they're going to use loaded dice and try and flush them down a toilet or anything like that. That would be too brazen.
What?
That's like, what, 6 months old now, year old now? Still boggles my mind it's actually real.
Yes. Someone, when you told me, I'm like, what? And then I looked at
It's like, I don't believe you.
Come
It's
on.
the same thing where someone says, like, Snoop Dogg's announcing the Olympics. I'm going to check that on the internet before I believe you. Oh, shit,
I'm the
it's
one
true.
that told you that.
I know.
Yeah. We're like,
But it's like the same thing where you're like, it's not that I don't believe you. It's trust but verify. It just sounds just crazy enough. It really goes out of focus when you turn it like that.
Yeah, I've got to get to the bottom of this. I could technically do this.
There we go. It's better if I don't look through my glasses, because it'd be blurry anyways. That's convenient.
Gotta love the magnets.
Yeah, painting a bunch of Battletech minis, I get to like parts where I'm like, you know what? I'm just fucking putting the brush in there and winging it. I think this is about the right spot.
Yeah.
Turns out it usually is, but, if they can't see, it doesn't matter. As long as there's something there, their mind will trick themselves into thinking it's perfectly fine. It's not like I'm painting for painting competitions. I don't need to be laughed out of the competition that bad. That's blurry too. Jesus. There we go. Better.
Everything is blurry.
Yeah, to just not look through my glasses, everything's blurry. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's better. Better.
Let me set that.
I do like having the two-tone metallic on that as well.
Yeah, I was like, it needs to do it to set it apart.
Mm-hmm.
Type thing.
There's a fine line between not having too many colors on a model and not putting enough detail in because you're not putting enough colors on a model.
Yeah. Like, I want to do the 4-color challenge at some point.
I'll do that for Battletech. Seems easy. Oh, no. Seems doable. Primary, secondary, gray, metallic, probably. Maybe black metallic, something like that. Not easy. I think 5 colors would be easy. 4 colors is a tiny challenge for anything, I think.
Yeah.
An interesting challenge, though.
So, going back to convention talk, other thing is the old world is coming back, which means, you're getting the rank and flank of GW again. And it's kind of coming back with decent reviews, but nobody really knows.
It's moderate buzz.
Yeah.
But it's buzz among the people who are already in the GW now.
Yeah.
I checked my give a shit-o-meter. It's not registering.
No, it's not registering for me either.
Like, honestly, that ship sailed a long time ago. Our ranks and flanks, it's almost like we have a sponsor who makes a better a not necessarily better in all ways, but a better overall game,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of
It's
curious.
easier where it needs to be easier, just complex enough where it needs to be complex. It's a solid game.
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But talking about GW is one of our local game stores is going to be starting up an Age of Sigmar slow grow, and
Great.
I was like, oh,
Awesome.
cool, that's good. I mean, it's
If they need rules, I might still have my Slowguard document, but it's sort of based off the old Malifaux one to sort of help the store too.
yeah, but I was like, okay, cool, and so I was like, oh, let me go see. I mean, I used to have an Age of Sigmar army. I had
What else?
the Wood Elves, Sylvaneth, which are primarily Dryads now, and
You're primarily Dryads.
yeah, I am. But I started looking at all the armies, and I was like, well, maybe there's something I might want to do. And no army really got me into looking at it. I was kind of like,
I mean,
eh? Eh?
that's why I don't play Necromunda. Part of why I don't play Necromunda with my buds. Like, first off, I don't really want to play a GW game. But second off, I looked and I'm like, none of them really grabbed me.
No. None of the armies maybe go, ooh, that would be kind of neat to
Yeah.
have those models.
They'd be like, those are fine, but is that good enough nowadays for me to spend my money on? It's fine.
Nope.
To take away from my disposable income that I may or may not spend too much of it on action figures.
No! Not you, John. You would never do that.
I'm gonna be honest. Every single one of these things on this shelf was purchased last year. All of it.
Nice.
There's a lot of figs here.
Who are the ones in the middle on the right?
Middle on the right.
Yeah.
So you mean Michelangelo and Junkyard?
Oh, okay.
That's
That was the one you
actually
took the picture of
John's
earlier.
pick of the day. Yeah, the Junkyard trying to get the pizza for Mikey.
Okay, yeah.
That
It was
little-
just I couldn't
Yeah,
quite
from
recognize
this
the
distance you
silhouette.
can't tell. Yeah, Mutt's still set up with the ice cream cones from a couple of days ago.
Nice.
You know, because I don't put them away until I need to. You know, it's such a big display.
Yeah.
But that whole thing. But yeah, it's like, I mean, I feel like there are so many things vying for all of our monies, our limited monies, that you got to be better than just okay, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
And that's not like to say that anyone who likes it is wrong.
No.
If it sparks joy in you, go. But keep in mind, at this point in the times, maybe your friends don't play. You know, my friends were like, hey, you know, if we do Necromunda, do you want to do the, you know, be like the Games Master? I'm like, really, respectfully, no. No, I don't. You know, I might come over and hang with you guys for a little bit, but I got, you know, stuff I can do. Game stores and stuff I can go to and play games. Rather play games with you guys, but if you're not playing what I want, you know, it is what it is. Maybe once in a while for a big thing, you're like, hey, John, can you come over and get this really important one? Sure, absolutely. And I did that for years, and well, not for years, for a very long time in Games Workshop. We had a long-running Necromunda campaign that would take place. People would play games during the week at the bunker. Then on Friday nights, I would do a multiplayer scenario for everyone. It was just a fun time. But, you know, it's back then I could get behind some of the models. Now it's like, they're fine. But even then, like when I played my last Necromunda campaign, like I used catechins to be the lax, so it wasn't like I was actually using Necromunda models for the most part at that point either.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're nothing wrong with the models, but just nothing made me
No.
go, ooh, I would like to own that and play that faction.
It's not like they put out a whole army of Goblin Wolf Riders and John went, here's my money, please give me the Wolf Riders.
Yeah.
Because that would probably happen, unfortunately. Xenovoid says, like, I'm looking at the Toad guys from PP, but I'm not going to play Mark IV. Like, yeah. Like, nothing against it. Just, that ship has sailed. You know, when you're away from something long enough, it's got to have something to bring you back in. You know, that movie Quiet, every time I'm out, it brings me back in. And I haven't done that. Miles John was painting Magnus's Jack, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's not quite enough to go back in, but that's a step.
The one that I want to get my hands on at some point is Hero Quest.
Yeah, he's
Released
still.
it.
I don't know. I think it was a limited run through HasLab, so I don't know if you're going to see it.
No, it's still around.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because they did a. HasLab did a Hero Quest game. I mean, okay, they're still selling it, so
Yeah, I'm
apparently
like, Avalon Games should still be selling it.
Hero Quest Hasbro.
Oh, Hasbro? Okay, I was
Oh, it
thinking
is Avalon Hill Games. Interesting.
Yeah.
But Hasbro
I was
did.
like, I was...
Am I? Well, am I not braining correctly?
Your brain's not
One
brain.
second. I'm gonna go brain this real quick.
Hey, Michael, welcome in.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? All right.
But I mean, it was just like I was looking at it and I was like, eh? Like I just didn't, nothing made me go, yeah, I gotta.
It is Hasbro,
It's nostalgic for me because that was the first miniatures game I ever played.
I bet money Hasbro owns Avalon Hill.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because it's right. It's all right here on Hasbro Pulse. You can get all the expansions and everything.
Yep.
Same prices buying it there, pretty much.
Yep.
No, it's. I mean, I played it a couple times. It's a fun game. It's one of those good replay games.
Mm-hmm.
And as we said earlier, you got to have that.
V, hi V.
Hi V. About 100 pieces of training paint. That's quite a bit. That's right. I have tons of BattleTech miniatures to paint, and I ain't going nearly fast enough. But I'm still sort of feeling out the color scheme.
I've got an entire one-shot's worth of minis that I've started painting, and I've got my tavern scene almost done. Just gotta finish the bartender.
I don't know if I told you guys, I was talking to a young lady at the not so local game store, the one that's right in the same shopping center where I meet my mom when she's, and she had a bunch there, and she was just loves them. She doesn't necessarily use them, but she just loves the whole idea of it and loves painting a whole theme's worth of miniatures and all. They're really cool.
Yeah.
That would be my idea of retirement.
Sit around and paint miniatures.
Painting minis and
painting miniatures so that like for our every other week game or whatever, I've got like, here's all the miniatures you guys are going to fight, the map and everything. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Is it realistic? No, I don't know if retirement's realistic. I'm not winning the lottery. But it's a dream. You got a dream.
Dream. Sorry.
That's fine. Everyone.
Getting into it.
But yeah, no, I love those. I love the idea that like back in the day, if it had that, it would have been great. Because it's a good way to get something to do in your quote unquote extra hobby time. Because you can only plan so long for an adventure. Let's be honest. At a certain point, you have to stop planning because they're going to fucking take your plans, set them on fire, blow them up, then pee on them to set them up to get them not on fire anymore. And they go like, "Wait, what was here again?" So you have to be accurate. You can't go too far. The best illustration, we were playing a D&D game, and we had rotating GMs, and the second GM had this whole plot and everything set up. And like somehow we just completely bypassed it. And like he's like, hold on for a second. He goes to his notebook and just rips out a ton of pages and goes, I don't need those anymore. And I'm like, that sounds like we won. Victory!
Did we just win D&D?
We won D&D. Doubly so, because we had fun and the game master is miserable. Which back in the day was a jokingly fun way of saying we won. But... Oh, no. It is fair, Banyan. So, Ricky is not a ferret is in my G.I. Joe role-playing game. And he is very explosives based. And Banyan is sort of sniper commando dude. And Dave is playing fucking Jason Voorhees.
Machete.
He's literally heavily armored. Because we played like 2 weeks ago. and it was great. We had a great time. We ran the starter adventure out of the book because they were at a perfect time for that, and it was fun, and Dave was still just fucking walking around macheteing poor Cobra soldiers, and it's just hilarious when you think of the fact that here he is, part of the greatest fighting force, most technology advanced fighting force on the planet, and he's fucking going around with a machete and chopping motherfuckers and tanks.
And
You can
tanks.
disable an APC with a machete. That's hard to
Nice.
describe, by the way.
Yeah, Haya karate it.
He actually, the deal was that he went in and came into the windshield and cleaved like the steering column in half. So he couldn't
Damn.
drive it anymore, so thus it was disabled. Hey, Xander Warlord, it's never a war crime the first time, and technically that's not a war crime. It's just melee combat. And honestly, most people at a certain point just fucking surrender. They're like, nope, no more. No, I'm done. When someone cleaves through the windshield of an armored personnel carrier, like the old G.I. Joe one with 6 wheels and all that, and cleaves through the steering column, you're like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. There's my gun. I'm done. I'm not fighting anymore.
Did anybody yell "Yo, Joe"?
Oh yeah, you get bonus movement if you yell Yo Joe, which is extra terrifying if it's Jason fucking Voorhees yelling Yo Joe with a fucking machete over his head.
I was wondering if so.
Yeah, that's a great visual. Think about that. It's actually pretty funny.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny. It goes to illustrate something that I think that a lot of the actual play gems when they were together doing their like some stream or podcast they did or video cast, players can start off with this idea, but it's not always where they end up. They can come in going, my character is going to be this, and this, and that may not survive contact with actually playing the game. Because Dave's like, yeah, I'm going to be a heavily armored shotgun door breaching guy. Like, no. He's a heavily armored fucking machete the door down, murder everyone, Jason Voorhees. And that's just how sometimes the gameplay goes and changes, what you're looking at.
Yep.
But it's a good time. So that's all that really matters. We got another player starting this next week, hopefully.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, one of our buddies is back in the area and needs some gaming to distract him from life sucking. So, obviously everyone's in. So.
Nerd, I heard that you had a interesting little part on your RPG game this last week where you had a whatchamacallit, a sound bite.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I saw that. You clipped
Mizzy's
that.
Yes, Mizzy clipped that. I have some clips from the Crap Guide to RPG or the Crap Guide to D&D, just as soundboard clips on my Discord channel. And just as Mizzy's character says they're going to rage, like I'm going to bloodthirsty rage.
I do love the Crap Guide to D&D.
Yes, right while they're in the middle of fighting some vampires.
Yeah, she clipped that and showed it to us, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was very amusing.
Yes,
that is
it
a
was a very
soundboard
well-timed
used
sound
for
clip.
awesome.
Yes.
So, John, we have convention season coming up. For everybody who doesn't know, convention season is just now started. LVO is this weekend, and then in 2 weeks, Captain Con is live. Where actually, you're going to be shocked. War Machine is leading the attendance this year at Captain Con.
Really?
That's not a super surprise. I've always been sort of War Machine centric.
Yeah, well, usually like GW, like
I mean, yeah, but
they had to cancel their Age of
like
Sigmar
saying,
stuff because it wasn't.
oh shit,
on.
that's not.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, their 40K didn't sell as well, and so like War Machine is actually taking up more spots than they were doing, so I thought that was good. But going back to the subject of convention season is coming up. It's here. It's in swing. Everybody's going and doing things, which is great. I'll finally get to meet Nerd in person in a couple of months.
Woo! Shenanigans abound.
Do what?
I said
yes,
shenanigans abound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Outer Merkle Void. I think Capticon is still in Rhode Island
Yes.
or that area.
Yeah. Nerd and I are going to party it up. We're going to be tiptoeing through the tulips and doing all crazy stuff. I got to turn this heat off.
Are you gonna
Karaoke.
I require video of you two singing that while you tiptoe through tulips because
Oh, hold on.
that would be amazing.
We can do some tiptoeing through the tulips. Tiptoe through the tulips.
We can do this because I, in fact, have a ukulele.
Well played. Well played. I have no notes.
I'm like, wait a minute, we can do this. I can't play the ukulele, but I own a ukulele.
There's plenty of time to learn.
Yeah, you
I'd
got
say
like,
it can't be that hard.
Well,
but
it's actually one of those kits where I built it myself.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
I mean, never a bad time to learn. My
Yeah.
buddy Joe's decided during COVID to buy a banjo and start learning how to play the banjo.
Yep.
I would do so, but I am not musically talented.
I'm not good with string instruments.
I mean, I'm not good with anything. Hearing me sing is like hearing fucking Biz Markie.
the legend. The legendary Biz Markie. Come on, get it right.
Let's be honest. When Gonzo was doing the song stuff, I did a test of me singing The Touch or whatever it was. It was so bad it gave me anxiety.
Feel free to send me stuff V in Discord.
That's because V is a resident musician. I was upset
Yes,
on Friday. I missed her stream because I was working and didn't realize it came on because I could have put it on in the background.
I missed when she was on Pyro Club with Asmo DMing.
I think it's become very much more colorful with those extra colors you've added on.
Yeah, it went.
Yeah.
I would also say, just as a outside comment, take it or leave it, the blue on the wristband with the green and the yellow is a little weird because it matches the scales.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
It all puts my brain.
Yeah.
Purple, maybe? Use the purple.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just putting the purple there because there's not much purple, but purple is my color. Yeah, I was putting it on there and it was like, it just doesn't pop.
It makes it blend the wrong way, I think. It's not bad. I just feel like it was a little... It's like we were talking about earlier, the Uncanny Valley. It makes my brain go, what's that? Why is that weird? Oh. But yeah, so, I mean, yeah, convention season is starting up. I'm going to try and make Nova open, but I can't guarantee anything. I always use work as an excuse, but work's about to get challenging again. I got one person who is leaving in 3 weeks.
Yuck.
I mean, she gave us more than a month's notice. So, I mean, and she, with military, I understand. I have another one who might get a government job, so she could give me 2 weeks' notice at any time. Another one is going through a divorce and could end up leaving at any time to move to someplace she can afford, which I understand completely. And the last one, I don't know how many days of work we have, but they have only been, not counting snow days. We're not counting snow days. Those don't count against people because, we don't expect people to come in if it's dangerous. But of all the days this year, this month, they have been on time. And I cannot protect that. So the work's going to get interesting. Hope if we find some good people who can show up on time and stay. But if I seem stressed, that's what it is. Cheers.
It's a giant chicken.
But I'm going to try to make Nova open anyways. My backyard, we have that weekend off. I should have enough ability to take 1 or 2 days off to do the beginning part of that. And my buddies go. So I really want to try and make it. I got no real excuse for that. I just won't buy action figures for a month or two. Probably
Or
a month,
3.
given how much I spent. No. It can't be that expensive, Gonzo.
No,
You don't know how much I spent on action figures.
not just to get in the door.
Someone at work asked me to figure out how much I spent during a year, and I was like, oh.
You don't want to see that.
It's not like horrific. It's just like, oh, that is a amount of money. But to be fair, with me not playing any miniature games right now, it is my main hobby. So that's another good note for everyone hobby-wise is try to keep track of how much you're spending on that stuff. You never know when you might be like, let's throttle back a second.
Yeah, I got a wake-up call after Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas always does that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you realize, like, oh. Like, I'm not disappointed. Like, I have precisely, like, 2 action figures I'm remotely disappointed in. And at the price I got them at, I'm not really disappointed.
Like,
Okay,
I learned I cannot get into Lego minifigs.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You look at my action figures and go, ha, 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 ha. Cheap hobby. Like, that's so cool. I could see getting, like, a Lego kit here or there just to put together. The same way you'd get a Gundam kit. You do a Gunpla, a big Gunpla. You get a good Lego kit and put it together. Bania wants to get, like, some of the big ones. Hey, Cookie.
Hey, Cookie.
Yeah, Cookie, stop
like,
buying minis and paints. I bought a couple paints here or there because I am painting stuff pretty regularly now again. But not buying minis goes a long, or buying just a very limited amount of minis helps a lot. Because it's not like I need to buy any Marvel Crisis Protocol minis. Fucking sake, I've got many. I've got a drawer full of ones that I haven't assembled yet. I can throttle back.
I've got an entire Harry Potter Lego or Harry Potter mini game to paint thanks to Gonzo.
Awesome.
You're gonna have more.
Those would be fun to paint, like painting the annual adventures. I've got those, even though we canceled our D&D game because it's between myself and then one of my other coworkers who was in it. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I hate to say it, playing on a weekday, even a Friday night, is fucking an adventure. Is this being an adult? Because being an adult fucking sucks.
Yep.
Agreed.
I did not. I was not properly read into what being an adult would entail. I would like to.
We were not warned enough.
Change my path now. Can I be an eternal kid?
Just do what I do. Just keep coloring your hair. Wear bright colors. You can just.
I am going to dye my hair coming up in April. Erica, who's in my D&D game, and at work, she is getting married on April 20th, on purpose. 420.
Dyeing it green.
I don't know what color, probably blue, but I'm gonna dye it something and cause my manager, my manager to fucking lose their wits, because I don't fucking care. And if a client comes in, I'm not gonna fucking wear a wig or anything. I can fuck off. How about I work from home? But no, I'm going to do it for that, because it'll be cool. I haven't dyed my hair yet. That's why I'm trying to let it go for as much as I can to see if I can get it. I'll go to an actual professional barber, not just myself, to get it, styled something decent before that, and then get it dyed, maybe professionally.
Yeah. I would also recommend Eero. It's a good, semi-permanent. You can get it at, Sally's Beauty Supply.
Cool. Yeah. I'll do a bunch of research before I get there, but actually, that's come up way faster than I like. And Art of Voice says, life is like flying a helicopter. I don't know how to fly a helicopter. Truth. When you're growing up, you think, man, the adults got this shit all figured out. No, they fucking don't. They just fucking hide it really well. Like, hats off to my mom and everyone for hiding it well, but they don't know none of us know what's fucking going on. We just fucking winging it. You just do your best and hope it ends out okay.
Yeah.
But I'd say if you've got a skill you can work on, I know we're getting way off topic. Managing money is the best one. If you can manage your money well, fucking you'll be okay. Anyways.
Since it's been a couple weeks, are we doing an extra long media section, or are we just still doing half an hour tonight?
I mean, we can do longer. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I got stuff. Not all of it.
That's-
Not all of it actual TV or movies. I
Yeah.
can talk about books and graphic novels and video games.
Oh.
Okay, video game. Plurals, we're kind of overselling it a little bit, but... What do you think, Gonzo?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
You can keep painting while we're doing this.
Okay,
It's not going to stop you.
we can go ahead and start on that.
Yeah.
Actually, I can go with the first video game. Let's start our video game first.
All right, video games. Hit it.
So,
All right.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. Really
nice.
enjoying it, having a good time with it, having a blast, and trying to figure out, different things to play. And one of the reasons I really like this is if I'm tired of a class, I don't have to build a whole new character. I just go pick up
your class. Yeah, change your profession.
change my profession real quickly. And so I've been trying to figure out a spellcasting job, because they're not job, they're classes that I wanted
Red
to play.
Mage.
And, I tried Red Mage, I tried Thaumaturgist, I tried all this other stuff, and I just couldn't get into it. And so I decided to try Conjurer,
Yeah,
which
man.
turns into Summoner. And so I can summon, Bahamut and, Garuda and all this other, things. And I'm having a blast with it. And like right now, my Reaper, which is my primary character that I like to play, she's pretty much full and done. And the only thing I'm going to be doing is getting, gear, higher level gear.
Mm-hmm.
I could get other stuff. I haven't touched any of the crafting part of the game. And I was coming to an epiphany, and I was like, holy crap, there is a lot to this game that a lot of people just don't see or do because either they, A, get bored, or B, overwhelmed. And I could see how people could get, highly overwhelmed with this game, with everything that you can do in this game, because there's so much shit to do in this game. Which is a good and bad, because if you're like a completionist and you're like, I want, 90 level
If you're
and
a
everybody.
completion, and it might be the wrong game for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it's fun. I'm having, and the summoner classes are very simple, casting class. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. You just, hit this button to turn this on, hit this button to turn that on, cast this, blah, blah, blah. So you're not it's not like this huge combo breaking, thing. So it's not been hard, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm in a group of people, and they're nice. They do stuff, but I was laughing because I remember playing Ultima Online, and we had online groups, the Mage Guild, and they would teach you how
Johnson,
to...
you said it wrong. You got to put your old man voice on. I remember back in the day playing Ultima Online.
And, every night there is a group of people, and it's all over the place, and they do nightclubs. And, you come in here, and you can, we'll do raffles, and you can come and dance. Oh, yeah. And they're streaming it. Yeah.
System is down. System is down.
And I was like, you never saw that shit in WoW. You never...
It's true.
You never saw that in any other big game. And I was like, this is the reason why people keep coming back to this game, because it's an actually living, breathing game. I mean, there are, it's funny. I'll sit there and I'll be just waiting for, a random dungeon to pop, because I'm trying to, level some stuff, because I got, and everything. And then a group of 8 people will come up with their instruments, and they'll all play, songs. And all of a sudden you're hearing Green Day and, whatever being played with all these instruments. And I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. And I just sat and listened to these people play, it's MIDI music, but, play stupid instruments. on a fucking video game and watch them do so, because they would change costumes, they would have dancing, they would, it was a routine, and I was like, wow, I didn't, you don't see that in many MMOs anymore. Because most of them, it's all about get the loot, get in, get out, get the next big loot, get in, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's not as much enjoy the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where we were, back where online, is we're more for the camaraderie than necessarily playing the game itself.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just thought it was very interesting. And it was like, I don't remember the last time. And when I was thinking about it, it was Ultima Online. Because I remember, the Mage Guild, they would run Thursday night dungeons.
There at the beginning, 3,000 years ago.
3,000
Online.
But, that didn't, that there hasn't been anything like that in any MMO that I've played with, that there's been this community of things happening. And so it's like, I'm pretty happy about that. I thought that was pretty interesting. So just a little thing. I'm enjoying it. If anybody wants to play, get with me. I'll let you know what server I'm on and everything, and we can, or if you, whatever, we can. I'm playing. I'm once Captain Mizzy is back in a solid place in her house, we'll get her to play also, because I found a class that she would like, because it has a lot of yeeting and stuff.
A lot of yeeting.
Yes.
Excellent.
That tracks.
Like a lot of tracks. I'm just like, wow.
Because it's got to be something simple to play that isn't a lot of combos or a lot of positioning and stuff, but is something that, does cool, stupid shit. And this one does.
Just wants yeet, opponent delete.
Actually, you yeet yourself.
Ooh.
Well, it's yeet or be eaten.
Yeah, so she's going to be yeeting herself.
Drinks are kicking in, aren't they?
Yeah, the liquor is going on John.
Yeah.
So I switched to my water a little bit just to pace myself.
So I'm having a blast with it. So John, what's your first one?
I am playing the demo for a rogue-like game.
Okay.
It's a billiards game called Rack and Slay.
Okay.
And you are basically the billiards ball, and you're going through dungeons that are suspiciously like they have holes and spikes and stuff to take out the monsters, which are all enemy balls. And they might have different abilities or anything. Like there's a ball that's like the angry ball, and it eats itself at you after every time you take a turn. And bomb balls obviously explode after you hit them. There's a bunch of different ones, and it's pretty fun, but it gets really difficult at higher difficulties. This is only the demo. Like I don't know, it's expected I think first quarter this year, but it is a free demo on Steam. Rack and Slay. I've been enjoying it, though, like, at the higher levels difficulties, I'm like, fucking A, can anything else go wrong?
Does it have any sweaty balls in it?
No. It's much more family-friendly than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's family-friendly. It's not necessarily cutesy, but they're all just little red enemy balls between normies and, various other ones. It is pretty fun, and like, I don't know how many difficulties there are on the demo. At least 11, because I'm on 11, and won that a couple times. So I'll probably go to 12. I know there's a handful, and then they're going to have like daily challenges and different size runs. So they have a lot of planned for it, and it looks interesting. We'll see what the price is like when it comes out, but turns out I really like roguelike and roguelite games.
They are a lot of fun.
Yeah, because Banners of Ruin, which I sent you, is roguelite. Which I enjoyed the crap out of, and then this is fun. I've been looking at a couple other ones, because since I started looking at them on YouTube, of course, it goes through my feed, so. But no, for a free demo, it's been really enjoyable.
Nice.
Nerd, you been playing any new games?
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, which is a rhythm-based hack and slash action game from Bethesda. It's you beat you basically are defeating enemies to the rhythm, and it reminds me a little bit of Crypt of the Necrodancer, only higher, better quality graphics and all that kind of stuff. It's not 16-bit, but
It requires rhythm. I don't really have rhythm.
yeah, no, it's definitely challenging, but it's a lot of fun.
Yet I don't mind challenging when that's what I'm looking for, to be honest. It looks
Yeah.
interesting. It's very frantic, seems kind of fast paced, but doesn't seem necessarily obnoxiously so.
Yeah,
I'm
like
looking at
it's one that
the
I can keep up with, which
I'm looking at the gameplay footage on
Mhm.
Steam right now. It's fine. I consider that. So axe is supposed to be figurative, not literal when you're using guitar, but hey,
Arda Michael said he's playing Darkest Dungeon too. I actually have played Darkest Dungeon. I mean, it's not bad, but you got to commit time to that game. Holy crap! That's a good game, but you got to commit time to it.
Yeah, I'm at a point right now where I want something I can play in a little chunk and then go away. Because I'm spending time, I'm going to play BattleTech Advanced.
Yep.
Because I mean, Bloody Doves keeps putting out new updates for it. He's doing a great job for a game that's super old and adding content, Hats off to him. He deserves much kudos for that. Like, there's so much content. I've played this game for hours. Like, it is my most played game, and it's not even fucking close anymore. And that's impressive considering how much Star Realms I played. Like, if you look, I've played 1,153 hours of BattleTech.
just a few.
Just a little bit.
Half that of Borderlands 2, and only 850 basically of Star Realms. So, I mean, this just in, game pretty fun. I've been playing a bunch of it. Yeah, I looked that up, like, wow.
So my first movie or media section that I want to talk about actually kind of got me in the feels and actually got me kind of thinking. So I watched Echo, which is on Disney Plus right now, the entire series. It's only like 5 episodes.
Yeah, getting mediocre reviews. But
Yeah.
I'll still watch it because most people who bitch about it, I think, need to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, it's because it's someone goes, "Can you believe this is a superhero? This superhero is Native American, paraplegic, and deaf." And I'm like,
She's not paraplegic at all. But,
yeah. She has, I think it's a left leg or right leg. I can't remember which leg.
She has.
Yeah.
So, I want to tell you, based on something I'm talking about here, missing part of a limb does not make you unable to do badass fucking things.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
Absolutely.
I'll talk about this again. It'll be my first thing I talk about when we get to my book.
So I'm watching Echo, and I don't know. I didn't know much about Echo as a superhero. Wasn't part of it. What it was from.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, and then I looked it up on Marvel, and like Echo's superpower in the comic is she's able to copy anybody's fighting style after they fight him for a little bit for the rest of her life. So
she's Taskmaster.
Yeah, but
beloved Marvel villain Taskmaster. Sorry.
But the writer says, you know what, we're going to add more superpowers to her. And I'm like, okay, I don't give a crap. I mean, it's not like I have 85 years invested in this character. It's not like Wolverine gained new powers or whatever.
I mean, we'd be okay with Wolverine gaining new powers. It's Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's the best he is at what he does.
Yeah. And so I'm watching this, and of course, this is something that's, near me, because it's, Indian reservation and so on and so forth. And I'm watching it, and they perfectly do really well to respect heritage and family and the Indian nation and stuff in this. And it got me thinking, it was like, man, this is like, the third American Indian type thing I've seen lately. And, I'm looking at other people, heritage and things. And I'm like, I am a white guy that came from, Central Europe. I have no heritage whatsoever. And nothing all I know is that, I came from there, and it was really nice and very interesting to see them take this on and give it a lot of respect, which I'm very happy with.
Funny note, I'm 1/8 Penobscot Indian.
Yeah. So, I mean,
You can't really tell, but
I was very, very happy with this. There is one scene in there that made me tear up because it was just so sweet, so well done, and it was gave me a little bit of feels, but
I liked her in Daredevil. She was one of the standout
Oh!
parts, or not Daredevil, of fucking Hawkeye. She was one of the standout parts of
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
yeah, and Daredevil makes an appearance in this.
Yeah, I saw
for a little
that.
bit, which is really good. The fight scenes in this were great. Everything in this was really good, and I'm going to tell you, is it Vincent D'Onofrio? Or how do you pronounce this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot see anybody playing Kingpin, but him now. He
Yeah,
is fucking amazing in this. He is perfect. He plays this cold, calculated killer that is just there and is like, I love you. Shoot him in the head for me. Now, let's go back to this.
My favorite point someone made is Kingpin in there learned Cantonese to not let the Chinese have one up on him.
Yeah.
But he won't learn sign language for her.
Yeah.
That is a perfect encapsulation of his character. He does love her of a sort, but he's not willing to invest the time in that. He's willing to invest the time for business, though.
Oh, yeah. He is amazing in this. We're going to see more of him, I can tell. I mean, just from everything.
I think you've sold me. That's my next. I'll watch Echo next.
Yeah. He is just so good. I cannot see anybody else playing Kingpin but him. I mean, they've got him bulked up in a suit, so he's very bulky looking. He's got him, very stern. They've got him a little bit higher than everybody else.
He was standout in Daredevil, and I've only seen one, but he was fucking great.
He is just
But
really good in this.
That's him as an actor, though. He is like so good at getting into a role.
Oh yeah,
he's like a fucking sign of quality. I don't think I've seen a movie with him in it that was bad.
It was really good. He was very outstanding in this. All the other characters, they like I said, they changed up her superpowers, and I know some people were upset the way they ended, when Echo confronts Kingpin in the end. But I get it because that's what it's going to be about. I'm sure we'll see Echo in other series as special appearances. That's not the end of the character.
I really like, as much as I love superhero stuff, I like the street level superhero stuff Marvel's been doing. They've got a good tone for it. Because Hawkeye, and that was all street levels, it's great.
Yeah. Now, she does have superpowers, and I mean superpowers in this, but they're not like world-bending, Doctor Strange, Jean Grey.
Technically speaking, Spider-Man is street level, even though he's way overpowered for that. But
yeah, but it's not, universe-bending superpowers. But it was good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was great. It had a good stinger, I guess it is, after credit scenes with Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin at the very end. Sets him up for everything because I know this is going into Daredevil, and he's going to be in Daredevil.
Rumor has it all the cast is returning for the most part.
Yes.
I'm in for it. I liked Echo. I thought it was really good. Was it perfect? No. Was it bad? No. The people that are hating on it are hating on it for the wrong reasons because they're just pieces of shit.
There's a lot of pocket misogyny and racism going out there.
Yeah.
People don't think they are. And I think it's like that grandpa casual racism, which I hate to say that as a fucking term, where they don't realize that they don't really mean anything, but it's there.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a blast. There were some good funny scenes. There's some good energy. You got to pay attention because there is a lot of sign language in it and a lot of subtitles, which great. Don't have a problem with it. This is what the character is.
I don't watch without subtitles, so.
I do because I have a problem with
I watch
subtitles.
everything with subtitles, though. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
I can't hear without my subtitles.
I can, but I enjoy movies because. So my favorite note on that, real quick, was there's a line in X-Men, the first one, where you can't hear it because after Wolverine says "you're a dick," everyone laughs. And I finally caught it on subtitles so I could see where Cyclops goes, fair enough. adds to the joke. But there's things like that where you can't hear it, or sometimes the music is older movies, certain generation of movies. The sound effects are so loud and the talking is so quiet. Sometimes you can't hear it, so subtitles help.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or just the audio isn't balanced right in the movie or
Yeah, oh
whatever.
yeah, that's usually what it is for
Exactly.
me. I thought it was great. I didn't have any issues with it. I thought it was a good fun, good writing, good acting. Can't wait to see Vincent in Kingpin again. I give it a 1.
Fair.
Nothing wrong with it. Not amazing, but very good. Had some good feel good moments in it too. Some good emotions. So
Cool.
I highly recommend it. John?
I'm going to talk about. I'm going to call it a book, but it's more of a multimedia thing. But I'll talk most about the book. I reread Black Hawk Down,
Oh, okay.
mostly because I've seen some videos with some of the soldiers who were there and all that. And let me tell you, one of the soldiers, a special force guy, lost his leg below the knee and was able to use a prosthetic well enough to fucking continue being in fucking Delta Force. And if that doesn't say enough about prosthetics, I think that should lay there. Like anyone who thinks like, oh, you can't know, fuck off. Was the best of the best, lost part of his leg, still the best of the best. But the movie's good. I didn't rewatch the movie. I will at some point. But the movie is Hollywoodized, obviously, and it does that standard thing for a based on real events where some things people did, the same person didn't do them. For example, Ewan McGregor's whole character is supposed to be someone else, but they don't talk about that guy because he had a troubled personal life after he left the military. He did some terrible things, so they don't talk about him directly. So they put all his stuff on a different character. And the main character is in the movie is Sergeant Eversman, played by God damn it, my brain's not going to brain. But anyway, Sergeant Eversman, who actually didn't do what he did. There was a different guy who did most of that stuff. But and neither here nor there. The book is great because Mark Bowden, the author, who is a reporter,
Josh
took
Hartnett?
Josh Hartnett, exactly. Yeah, thank you. I love Josh Hartnett, by the way. He's great. He turned on me in Batman. Didn't want to.
What?
Yeah, he'd been a great Batman, but he does what he
I loved
wants.
him in Penny Dreadful.
He's like Neil McDonough, who they just do what they fucking want. They're not going after the big roles. Like, I want to do this role, so I do it, and I love that. I respect that. But the book, Mark Bowden takes the events as he's interviewed tons of people about, and makes it into a good novel almost. It's still the events as they happen, told to him by people who were there, in some case multiple sources, but put in a point where it feels like you're reading fiction, but you're not. And the book is absolutely top notch. It's a good read. Since it's not dry military history, it actually reads very well. There's a ton of videos out there on it. There's, a PBS special, a ton of specials. Everyone who does military encounters talks about this for the most part. Anyone who's been doing that for a while, like the operations room or fucking any of those guys, have a video or two on it. And then there are plenty of interviews with the guys, and listen to those interviews are great. Guys telling it from their point of view, what they were thinking at the time, that kind of thing. And, it's a hell of a thing being one of the more documented now because of Mark Bowden mostly military engagements of the latter half of the 20th century. It laid the groundwork for a lot of what we do nowadays in encounters, and it's just a great read if you care about military history or not. Even if you don't have to go to all the extra stuff, but the book itself is a great read as a counter to the movie. And I've seen a couple of videos of people first reaction, like first watching Black Hawk Down. I'm like, oh, you in for a fucking ride. And most of them are like, just cannot
I've
believe
still
it.
never seen it.
It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All of the broad notes are very much real for the most part, and it was my favorite military movie. Now it's an out and out fight with Zulu. Those two are my favorite two military movies. Not Saving Private Ryan. It's good. I think these two are better. They're much more watchable, more I mean, I don't want to say Black Hawk Down is ever like enjoy. It's not like a joy to watch, but it's riveting and interesting to watch. Especially knowing, if you read the book, knowing how much of it is actually true. Like the person may not be the same, but a lot of it is very true. So, the book, 0. Absolutely 0. It is my favorite nonfiction book I have ever read. And I've read a couple. Mostly military, surprisingly. Not really surprising. Nerd?
We're gonna do a twofer with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny. I watched them out of order because we decided to save the worst for last. Dial of Destiny, I wasn't mad about. Like, I thought it was good fun. We get to see John Rhys Davies in there briefly.
Yes.
We get Toby Jones, who's always fun.
Yep.
It took me a moment to not see him as Armin Zola.
But he's so many roles. He's so good in all of them.
He is good. He was wonderful as Basil in this.
Doctor Who?
Yep. But Crystal Skull was, like, painful to watch.
Parts of it were very painful. Like, the core was okay, but parts were like, swinging with the monkeys. Swinging with the monkeys!
Right?
Like,
That's exactly
if you take
the scene
that,
I was about to bring up. I was
take
just
that one
like,
scene out, the movie's fine. That one scene, I'm like, oh god, this is going beyond. This is too far.
And
This is too far.
I get so mad at the end when he almost puts Indy's hat on, and I'm like, don't they fucking dare! Don't they dare! I don't They don't, and not to spoil it, but they don't. I was very happy that they.
I was not on board in the beginning with how they rolled the end of that into the beginning of Dial of Destiny, but by the end I was with it. Like, it's an interesting character development. I mean, let's be honest, no offense to the actor or anything, but Mutt is a plot device for character development for Indy, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't care about him. Like, there's no feels in my soul for him. Like, oh, they killed off poor Mutt.
Yeah, and the
Anyways,
special effects with the, like, super obvious green screen scenes, but like it was really a product of its time.
It's just okay.
I was disappointed that it was a cop-out, that it wasn't actually something from history. Like, yes, crystal skulls have existed in history, but for it to be what it was,
that is the
I felt like a cop-out.
It's been years. You could say it was aliens.
Okay, yeah, it's
aliens. Like, that is the best. That is the best reason I've ever heard of someone disliking that, and that is absolutely a fair point. That was a cop out that it wasn't actually for history. That's fair. I had no problem with it being for aliens. For fuck's sake, he found the fucking Ark of the Covenant in the first movie, and it melted people's face off. I wasn't worried about the supernatural, super science. Like, fucking, I don't care about that. Like, that ship is fucking sailed. But yeah, that's a fair point. I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, in terms of the way that all the other ones, I mean, except for Temple of Doom.
No, even Temple of Doom. The thing is, it's not our history that we know, but it's Indian in all history.
Yeah. I was
pissed off Callie. I mean, don't piss off Callie.
That's true. It's been a while since I've watched Temple of Doom.
Underrated.
It is underrated.
I like it better than...
I remember monkey eyeball soup, and that's just what stuck out in my brain for that movie for years.
My hot take on the Indiana Jones series is I like it better than The Last Crusade. Not The Last Crusade is bad, it's absolutely fun, but they do some things with Marcus Birdie and Sala they make them comic relief, which is product of its time, but fucking damnable. Like, as far as the series go. Like, they're both serious characters. Sala was a respected businessman, 100% serious in the first and the last Indiana Jones. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
John Rhys Davies, he's fucking great.
Yeah,
he's the second best Kingpin, just in case you were wondering.
I give Dial of Destiny, like, 2, and I take that back. I give Crystal Skull 2.5, and Dial of Destiny, I'd say, like, 1.5.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm in that range. I haven't seen Crystal Skull in a while. Maybe just I don't own it, and I probably won't.
The fact that my
Disney
mom
Plus.
didn't like it, and my mom was an Indiana Jones fanatic, when she came out of the theater and said, I didn't like it, I just went, okay, I'm not going to watch it.
That's fair.
Until now. So, Gonzo.
I watched a series on Netflix called Fool Me Once. Fool Me Once is a story about this wife's husband is killed, and he shows back up on like this baby monitoring camera after he's been killed. And it's the story of, and it's a mystery, so I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, of her trying to figure out why her husband is back alive. Her husband is part of a super uber rich family, and there's, things in the past that happened, that they don't want the family, the family doesn't want known to everybody, so on and so forth. It's a British TV show. It's only like 8 episodes. It's not bad, but you can read the plot from 900 miles away. You're watching it and you're like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And you're just waiting through it. And like some characters that were in it that were actually cool had no need to be in the show at all because they did nothing for the entire show. They did nothing. Like, they have this detective, and the detective's really nice. He's got a really good story, but it had nothing to do with the story of the show. Which was, I was like, okay, he's just a detective, and it was like he was a side character written in at the last moment. Type thing, and I was not very happy with it. I was like, you could have done more with him. Overall, the show is not bad. It's pretty decent. You're easy to predict what everything is going on and how it was done. It's a story that's been done before. Super rich family has deep, dark secrets, and, they don't want them getting out. Very, very, very common. Ending was okay. They did like a, years later type thing, and it didn't need to be there. It really didn't need to be there, didn't need to happen, so it was kind of interesting that it had there. It was okay. It's all right. I give it like a minute, maybe 2.5. Just there. Was it well acted? Yeah. Was it had good scenes? Yeah. It just, there was nothing there. So it was just there. John?
I finished. Thanks to Raid.
Hipster stole my beer.
Hipster stole my beer. There you go. All right. It's almost like I've been drinking, and maybe those words are blurring together a little bit. I did finish Reacher Season 2.
And, Chef sent you. Nice.
There we go. And I loved it. It was good. I like the getting his old team back together. The characters that they had were very good. Having Neely back is great. I love Neely in the first season. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil it. We're going to talk about it again next week, I think, when you're done with it. But I did very much enjoy it. I'd give it 1. I don't think it was quite as good as the first season. It's a little more action movie-y, but that's not necessarily unwelcome. So just a matter of keeping things going. I'm going to hold off most of my review till next week and Gonzo finishes up. We have episode or 2 left, Gonzo?
Yeah, I only have a few episodes left, so it won't be too long.
But enjoyed it. I'll give it. I'm going to give it a 1. The first season was a 0, in case anyone didn't remember. Nerd?
I watched Saltburn.
Okay.
How to describe this movie? It's obsessive. It unfortunately, like, my roommate fell asleep halfway through because it's a very slow. It's Saltburn. It's a slow burn. It's about this. I don't want to call them a kid because they're in college, but
they're kids.
Yeah,
I'm almost 50 now. Those people are kids.
Okay, it's about this kid who ends up kind of working his way into this higher upper class friends group and gets invited back to one of their houses for the summer and ends up causing all sorts of chaos. But it moves so slowly, and when they finally get to the climax at the end of the movie, you're just like, Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand why some people are like, "Oh, this movie is so good. It's so out there." And
But if you don't
I,
like the speed of it, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
yeah, yeah. Like,
Oh
it
shit!
was worth a watch, but yeah, it's so slow it was almost painful to watch.
Yeah. That's what
So
I've heard.
I give it 2.
That's fair. Uh, I'm gonna jump in before you go again, Gun. So, Matt Laura, who is the local of my group and an old, I've known him since he was about yay tall, just won LVO.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
So, congrats to him.
Nice.
Gonzo, what you got?
So didn't get to do much of this stuff because it was last week, the last time we were there. But I was watching a bunch of vampire movies because, of course, I was working on my vampire campaign and tried to get into the movie. And I watched 2 vampire movies, one called Night Teeth and one called Dampier. Uh,
I've never heard of him, so it can't
yeah.
be that good.
Dampier is about a guy that is supposedly part vampire and he hunts vampires for a living, and
He's
it's
Blade.
just not good. It just was not good. They tried so hard with this. They tried really hard. It is not good at all.
But he
So
doesn't know it. But he doesn't know it. That's
yeah, he doesn't know it.
Harlan Draka. God, fucking names. Come on, people.
Yeah, it just was not good. The special effects were not good. The fighting, it was just bad. Pass
I
it
don't
up.
think I recognize anyone in the staff in the cast.
No,
either.
it's
That's
a
saying
foreign.
something.
Yeah, I think it's a foreign film also on top
That's
of that.
fair. But yeah, you
Yeah.
just watch Blade instead.
Yeah, just watch Blade instead. And then there was this movie called Night Teeth. And Night Teeth is about a guy
Oh, so with Megan Fox as the vampire queen, right?
No. All right,
No?
I don't remember.
I
No?
mean,
No, I don't think Megan Fox was the vampire queen. Or it was, I just totally... If it was, I turned my brain off because this was not good either.
they might be crossing the streams. I know there was one that came out with her as that, but I don't really.
But what it is about a guy that is an Uber driver, and pretty much an Uber driver, and he has to drive these 2 women around the city, and they're breaking the vampiric laws with the mortals.
Oh yeah, it's not that one.
And, so on and so forth. And he just, gets caught up in the whole triangle of vampires and fighting and stuff. And you see everything from start to finish. You know exactly what's going to happen. You know everything that's going to go on.
It's telegraphed.
Oh, it's telegraphed day 1 second into the movie. It just wasn't good at all. And it kind of sucks because I was looking for some decent vampire stuff to watch while, I was writing up stuff and, just set the tone to get things
the
going.
problem is that the vampire stuff, the quality stuff, as much as I hate to say it like that, has sort of become into the sort of monstrous vampires, not the sort of, let's call them sexy vampires like Vampire the Masquerade is sort of based around.
Yeah, it was not good. I was just like, eh. So, and that one gets a 2 for me. It's not great. A 2.5. It's one of those meh. You're like, whatever, don't care. It's just, blech.
Oh, fair enough.
I haven't had good. Like I said, Echo was my recommendation of the week. 5 episodes. They're about 45 minutes each. Highly watch it.
I watched Doomsday, which is a early 2000s movie, 2008, with Rona Mitra as the lead, technically speaking, and then Bob Hoskins and Malcolm McDowell in it, but no one else big as far as leads go. She's the biggest name lead, and she ain't exactly a big name.
I'll say I've never heard of her, but I've heard of the other 2.
Yeah. So it's basically, they call it an action thriller, but it starts off as sort of like a virus outbreak, and they sort of wall off all of Scotland. Make a wall so that the infected in Scotland cannot get into mainland Britain, because that's exactly what would happen. Anyways, let's go past that. It's science fiction. But then they see that there are people still alive there, and they have an outbreak of the Reaper virus, as they call it, in London. So they send Rona Mitra and her team of military and military scientists to go find what the cure is or how people are still alive.
Mm.
And they get there and they're looking around the lab where the doctor they were looking for was last seen years ago. And it sort of transfers in that point into sort of Mad Maxy type movie where, a bunch of survivors show up and they're all feral and cannibals. And they have this sort of weird musical interlude where the leader of them is like doing this thing to rile up his people as they basically cook one of the scientists to eat. And then they escape because they do. And then they go to find the other survivors who Malcolm McDowell, who's the scientist they're looking for, is in charge of, and he's made it a medieval society in an old castle. Like, the kind you would visit like as a tour, and it still has a gift shop as a fucking sign sitting up there, which is funny. And he's like, this is survival of the pure because we're immune and pure and blah, 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 blah. But his daughter's willing to help them, so they break out. Rona Mitra's trying to be badass, woman. And she does a good job of it. It's not like it's there. And then it turns into the Road Warrior. Because they go back, they find this old, shelter or whatever, and they find a car and there's gas and they fuel it up and they go out. And then the first bad guys they encounter come back in all their vehicles and it becomes fucking the Road Warrior. And it ends, of course, they give the government one of the survivors who's immune with this last remaining scientist. And then Rona Mitra goes off because she's actually from Scotland. She was saved by soldiers who were there right as everything closed off. And she goes and finds her house and everything and gives Bob Hoskins, who's like her adoptive father. I think it's sort of the idea is that he's the soldier that took her on the helicopter. That whole scene was very, probably the best part of the movie where, they're closing everything off and the woman runs with her daughter. And the soldiers are about to take off, and one of them goes, fuck it, jumps off the helicopter, puts the kid on, and goes to, die, basically. Noble, the kind of thing you'd hope soldiers would do, but I wouldn't blame them for not doing, because, let's be honest, it's hardcore. I mean, overall, it is enjoyable, because it's an absolutely fun action romp, but it is completely crazy. As it goes, as you heard me go through multiple genres of movies throughout the same one. I can't really give it better than a 2, but it is a fun watch. I kind of remembered it more fondly than it actually was good. Bob Hoskins, of course, is great. It's actually got Alexander Siddig, who played Dr. Bashir on DS9, in it for a little bit. And he's good for the couple moments he's in, but at the end of the day, it's a forgettable action movie. It's just on the good side of forgettable. I bought it for very cheap on DVD. I don't know if you can stream it everywhere, but it's not a bad one to take a good rent on. So, but yeah, 2 is the best I can give it. Nerd, finish this up.
Yep, your last one.
I watched The Crow for the first time.
Oh my god, I wish you'd started that earlier. We could talk about that forever. The Crow.
Yeah.
A perfect movie. I will not take ads at this point.
What'd you think, nerd?
Okay, it's definitely a product of the 90s. First.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
And I liked the very campy noir feel of it. I had maybe seen clips of it on TV or something when I was younger, but I'd never seen it in its entirety unedited. So I sat down and watched it all the way through, and I was like, okay, I see why this is so popular. Not really a me kind of movie. I appreciated it, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. But I still enjoyed it.
If you get a chance, listen to the soundtrack on YouTube. It fucking slaps.
Yeah, the soundtrack is fantastic.
It is here's a little encapsulation of the 90s in a soundtrack.
Yes. No, the soundtrack is fantastic. Is it Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
Brandon Lee.
Thank you. I was wait, it's not Jason, it's Brandon.
Because rest in peace, Brandon Lee.
Exactly. he like there were some parts where I'm just like, God, his father is coming out of him so much.
That's what made it all the more terrible. Like this is the movie that would have put him on the fucking map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's even more damnable is it's not like they fucking learned from it, because you got fucking Alec Baldwin going through the fucking same thing, worse thing in his. Like fucking after the first time, it never should have happened again.
Yeah.
Ever. But
Yeah. But I give it like half a space harpy.
it's definitely. I'm sure it's a weird thing not seeing it at the time. I mean, I saw it in the theater.
I
Obviously.
think
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
don't know that I would have appreciated it at the time.
I mean,
But I appreciate it for the genre, the characters, the soundtrack. Like, it's got a lot of great elements. It's just not one that I see me putting on in the background on the regular basis.
yeah, it's not one I get background. I watch it once a year or so, usually around Halloween.
Yeah. All right, and that brings us up to
Time to
the
go
end
home.
of the show.
Guys,
I'm
we
done.
appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do. Every time you're coming out, we're going to send y'all off to Sir Arminius, because we haven't seen him in forever. And you get to see some MechWarrior online. Guys, please take care of yourself. Please look after each other. Please, please, please. If you see something, say something. If you hear something, do something. If you can't do something, find someone that will, because we need to start looking after each other even more than now than ever. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Nerd.
Good night.